man tonight for the Titans.
Well, whatever he's selling, I'm buying, man, because I believe after watching him do that opening.
Well, certainly a lot of enthusiasm here in Nashville. What did you get when we met with Jacksonville as far as a vibe?
Tennessee, all confidence, 3-4. You wouldn't have thought it just by talking to them. What did I get from the Jacksonville Jaguars? They were shaken from the loss last week, and you could feel the anxiety really from top to bottom. So it's really interesting to see if they can overcome their state of mind and perform on the field like they want to.
Because it wasn't an easy loss to accept either for the Titans, who had the lead with a couple of minutes to go and gave up a couple of touchdowns late in a loss to the Colts. This next-gen stats presented by Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. So Myers teeing it up. Look at this, 71 and clear skies here in Nashville, where the Titans have struggled mightily at home since the start of the 2014 season. More on that coming up. Tennessee won the toss, wants the football, and here we go. Myers, who leads the NFL in touchback percentage. Now 23 of his 26 kicks have not been returned. Here comes Marcus Mariota in his last meeting against Jacksonville. Just look at these numbers. He had an 87-yard touchdown run, threw for 3, ran for 1 in a shootout victory, 42-39.
He's got all the skills you need to be a top-flight quarterback. He just needs experience. Got to learn to be a little better in the pocket, protect the football. It's not the interceptions that bother anybody. It's all the fumbles he's had in his short career.
He fumbled late in the game and was returned for a touchdown to close out that Colts game, basically. First play is a handoff to DeMarco Murray, the former Cowboy and former Eagle, 1 year up in Philadelphia, and that was a failed experiment there.
Well, DeMarco Murray's glad, little hurry up. He's glad to see the backside of a quarterback and not a quarterback that's standing beside him all the time. Power running game in the I formation.
So they go no huddle here at the start. Good time for Mariota. He's able to find right away Delaney Walker, his 25th catch of the season, and that's a gain of 18.
Same formation, make the play action fake, no pass rush on the quarterback, and Delaney Walker comes all the way across the field. He's the guy that, if you're worried about the Tennessee passing game, I think it starts with Delaney Walker, then you work your way down to somebody like Kendall Wright. But what happens is, you got to brace yourself so hard for this running game, which has been successful this year.
Yep. Murray is third. This team is third overall in rushing, and here he is, DeMarco. For a moment, it looked like there might be a little seam, but Telvin Smith closed in on it, holds him to a gain of 2. So Murray comes over and has provided some leadership, too, for this team. As you see, Telvin Smith close in quickly.
Just want to say real quick, Telvin Smith so fast, unbelievable tackler of the football, and that's a play like that. Looked like it's going to get yards, and it doesn't. Yeah, but Murray, Jim, you said bringing leadership, a lot of toughness. He loves the just being part of this team and what the future holds for some of these good players.
It's a 2nd and 8, and they toss it, and he fumbles it, and the ball's on the ground. And it looks like Jacksonville may be at the bottom of that pile. Nope, it's going to be 3rd down coming up for Tennessee. So that was a bit careless.
Yeah, it was careless. It was the right call, because what do you do against the defense? This Jacksonville defense, and they can run. They're fast, you know, twitchy, whatever you want to call it. So you get them flowing one way, and you do the counter pitch the other.
This fumble right here, charged to Mariota, who's had fumble issues. It's a loss of 12, recovered by Brian Schwenke.
Look who's in the backfield. Malik Jackson read it the whole way. Said, man, I wanted to come to Jacksonville to see if I'm really a good player, or was I the product, of course money brought him here too, a product of a system and all the good players around him in Denver? The answer is he's good.
Flags come out here on 3rd and 20, delayed game.
Offense number 8, 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That's John Hussey in his 2nd season as an NFL referee. So 3rd and 25 now.
Jim, they took the ball. Why? Because they felt confident. Mike Mularkey, hey, got a team that has a little self-doubt. They believe in their offense, the run game, that misdirection play, the play action, and a couple bad plays here in a row. Makes this opening drive backfire on him just a little bit.
They also took the ball because the last 2 games they had driven down the field with their first possession and scored a touchdown. This is over to Derrick Henry. And the Heisman Trophy winner out of Alabama will not get all the way there. Only out to about the 43. That picks up 11 back. So 4th and 14 coming up.
Well, what they do on a screen like that, it's kind of funny. Jacksonville dropped back in a real prevent defense. Not something they do a lot, but good block down the field by DeMarco Murray.
As Brian Walters waiting for the kick from Kern. Brett Kern. He had 2 punts returned for touchdowns earlier in the season. And no chance here. Good hang time. As Walters fields a 44-yard boot, and we'll bring out Bortles and come look at the Johnny Cash Museum right here in Nashville. Here's Blake Bortles. He's now had 2 big performances here against the Titans, including a 5-touchdown game in that shootout loss last year. He's thrown 6 overall, but he hasn't won. He's 0-2 on this field. First down carry goes to Yeldon, and T.J. Yeldon into the arms of Avery Williamson. And when you look at the film on Bortles, what are you seeing right now?
Well, I see an inconsistent thrower, no question. And he talked to us and openly said, I don't know where it came from or why, but my motion's getting longer. So when it gets longer, you can't control the football. And then when you watch just the team, even when you watch it on coach's tape, you can see the frustration with the quarterback. You can see it especially with the wide receivers feeling like, hey, we're getting open. Why aren't we getting the ball more?
2nd and 8, and he gets it over to Hearns for a first down. Allen Hearns, one of those who wants more targets. Came off a lot of big important receptions last year and touchdowns.
Well, this is pretty good. That is a high release for Blake Bortles, so he really works hard on it. And we're going to talk about it as the night goes along a little, because it is a big story. You know, you just got to be a knockdown, accurate thrower in the NFL to have tremendous success as a quarterback. So short throws, bootlegs, really good to get you off to a good start.
Gain of 9, first down. Bortles backpedaling, in trouble in the wobbler. With no one near him, near the pass. That was Casey who got to him first, along with a rock bow.
Well, you know, we talked about it, and I'll say it, and you're going to talk about it a lot tonight. They got 4 guys up front that can get to the quarterback. You got outside Derek Morgan and Arakpo, and then inside you have Jarrell Casey, 99. He's really their Pro Bowler, looking big 99. Al Woods, 96. But Carl Klug is not even in there. There's another good inside pass rusher.
Ivory, the running back. On a 2nd and 10, he gets a handle. And former Jet running back who came up big for New York last year, but comes here as a free agent in the offseason. He's got a gain of 1, a 2nd tackle by Williamson.
Well, you know what? These big guys up front, you know, you can say, oh, we want to run the football, but they're so athletic, it frees up fast linebackers like Williamson right there. And he's one of the best tacklers in the NFL. You can put him right up there with Luke Kuechly when it comes to, when you have a chance to get a guy down, they take him down.
Marquise Lee is the 3rd receiver in for Bortles and the Jags. 3rd and 9. Bortles pass. Diving attempt. Incomplete. Robinson. So each team manages 1 first down and then a punt.
Well, pressure comes. Daquan Jones is in there. It was going to take a perfect throw to get it in there. And that was Valentino Blake on the coverage. Like that name, Valentino.
I remember him as Antoine Blake with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, I do too.
Also formerly of Jacksonville, but he changed his name at the end of camp, went to his middle name, Valentino.
I kind of like it. I'll change my name.
Valentino Sims?
Well, maybe it's something else.
Really?
Well, not what people call me, but something else.
Oh, look at this.
Okay.
Nortman. There was a little stutter snap there from Carson Tinker.
You know what I'm saying? When people yell at me, hey, say, hey, Sims. I don't want that first name.
Snap infraction. Offense number 46. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Watch the center. Oh, a little double clutch that time. Went the snap and held on to it.
So back him up another 5. The Jaguars had all kinds of issues on special teams last week against Oakland in the loss.
Terrible. Bill Cowher, Deion Sanders talked about it. That's just a no big time.
Nortman, who punted for the Panthers last year, kills it back to the 22. Mariani, the returner, is met by a couple of Jacksonville special teamers, including Wilson. 50 to get to 500 tonight at the midway point. Jacksonville, if it wins, would move into a tie for second. The Jags 1-0 inside the division, having beaten Indianapolis over in London. Here's Mariota's pass down the sideline. And boy, there's a flag, couple of flags thrown in here, as Supernaw was the target.
Well, they were not fooled by the play action.
Looked like it was Ramsey who may have run into him.
Oh, yes, it is. It's Jalen Ramsey. After last week, you'd think he'd play it safe.
After the play was over, personal foul, defense number 20. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced in the previous spot. Automatic, first down.
Well, they say, they talked to Gus Bradley, extremely talented when he talks about his rookie first rounder. And here it is. He got kicked out of the game last week.
Yeah, and you know, said, hey, I wouldn't change anything. And I saw Deion Sanders talking about it before the game. Look, the guy can play both corners, the slot. He is really talented, but that is in a team that's struggling, that's unforgivable.
2nd and 10.
Let me tell you what a penalty does like
Full
that.
start. Offense number 89. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Hey, Phil, you know, you got to take it to the ground. I'm pleased to report that this young man right here is fine. Did he hold on to it? Is it a catch? He held on to it.
He held up.
He went all the way to the ground.
I'd get up and spike it after that hit.
I would too. No pads, nothing.
Unbelievable.
Have
Nice
tied
catch.
in. Yeah, thanks to his own teammate, basically. Ramsey knocking Supernaw into him.
Margin of error is small for these teams. Can't make bad mistakes.
First and 15 carried by DeMarco Murray. And we'll remind you, Sunday at 9 on NFL Network, Wentz or Dak, who has the edge in Sunday Night Showdown? Plus how Tom Brady keeps getting better with age. That's NFL Game Day morning, Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern, live on NFL Network. Ramsey set out a snap. Now he's back out there. As Coach Bradley was saying, he's highly competitive, competitively wired player. We've already seen that here early. 2nd and 12. There's another throw over to Walker. Mukamara bounces him out, but it'll be 3rd down coming up for the Titans near midfield.
Yeah, really good coverage by Mukamara, a free agent pickup from the New York Giants, and they're really happy with the way he's played. You know, he's right there. He's all over Delaney Walker. Nothing you can do. He just can't get around the big man. Delaney Walker did a nice job, just ran into him and backed him off.
Here's a 3rd and 6. Mariota looking all over the field. He's got Jackson running after him. Now he'll take off. Stretches out the arm. Where do they mark it? They're going to give him the first down at the 42.
Looked like he got it. This is what really catches you by surprise when you talk about Mariota. I mean, at that time, boy, Telvin Smith had the angle and didn't get there, misjudged it. Puts in. Ball's past the marker. It's a good mark. But how about that speed? We saw it last week. He had a big run. And you talked about the long run he had last year. And, you know, you think, oh, he looks kind of fast on film, but when we play him, Telvin Smith, maybe the fastest, one of the fastest linebackers in the NFL, couldn't catch him even with the angle.
It's an 87-yard touchdown run he had against them last year. There's the wiggle and the power move. Murray takes it inside the 40. So Murray had that great season with the Cowboys in 2014. And then look at his numbers last year in Philadelphia. They fell down to 46 yards a game.
How about that? Touchdowns.
Already got 7 this year. 2, in fact, in the receiving game. 5 on the ground.
It's old school football. He has, you know, even the coaches even yell at you down here. Wow. I thought that was not allowed in the NFL anymore, but Not here in Tennessee. These coaches, yeah.
2nd and 7. Here he is again, slashing and getting near the 36, a gain of 4.
Well, you know, when Marcus Mariota is under center, what they're doing, they're expecting run, so they crowd the line of scrimmage. If he's in the shotgun, they're backing off, playing pass. And so you got to be careful. Terry Robisky, offensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans, to see this and adapt.
3rd and 4 coming up.
This time they're going to stay up there and play man-to-man coverage in a 3rd and short situation.
First down. That is Matthews taking it to the 20. And he ran away from Ramsey and picks up 16.
Well, it's all about, we see this every week, they're going to switch. So when they switch, look at Ramsey. He's, you know, you just can't make up that ground fast enough. So that's one of the ways you get people open in this league. You just can't line up and stand there and say, here's my guy, I'm going to beat him. Coaches, help him out. This drive kept alive, though, because of the speed of their quarterback.
Well, they picked up a couple of 3rd down conversions, going with 3 tight ends here on 1st down.
Call it load.
6th carry now for Murray, and not one of his runs has gone for more than 3 yards. Just a couple that time. Now, once they get inside the 20, they have scored 9 consecutive trips in the red zone touchdowns. In fact, they're 2nd best in the league when it comes to touchdown conversion in the red zone.
So you usually hear the opposite. We can get there and can't do it. Mariota says, yeah, we just can't get there. But when we get there, we're really good.
We can't get from the plus 40 to inside the 20. That's the problematic part, he says.
Well, the wide receivers have hurt them getting inside this red zone.
We'll see if they can do it again. Mariota pass, a little wide of the mark. He's trying to hit Murray.
Yep, he had him. He tried to anticipate maybe a little too much. You know why? Because let's don't forget, DeMarco Murray's a good pass receiver, but here he comes out the backfield. Watch him, he's going to bend out, and he anticipates the throw, and he just can't quite get there. That's one you want to see him come open. Boy, he throws a beautiful spiral too, doesn't he, Jim? You watched practice yesterday, and it just flies out of his hand, easy to catch because it spins hard and it doesn't wobble. Receivers love those type of throws.
That's a 3rd and 9. Sets up the screen to Murray. Runs over one defender. That was Cyprian. He ran over, but he's short of the 1st. And it'll be field goal time coming up for Ryan Suckup.
Yeah, Cyprian's the up safety. In other words, he plays like a linebacker a lot, and this is why. Because look at that tackling form. He was in good position. And DeMarco Murray, he can get low for a big man. But still gets him down. That's what's important.
32-yard field goal for Suckup, who's made his last 25 inside the 50. Kern on the hole. Bo Brinkley sends it. And that kick is good. Sneaks in. 2nd drive for the Titans produces a field goal. They don't get the touchdown this time in the red zone. But they get another Suckup field goal, his 9th of the year.
Good start. Crowds into it. Uniforms are.
You've got to describe for me the colors. I hear it's Columbia blue here.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Honey mustard
Honey
on
mustard.
Jacksonville.
Okay, honey. Just doesn't seem like something a football player would want to wear. I want honey mustard.
Suckup's kick, angled to Lee, and he stutter steps and now comes out with it. And the former USC star able to get it to about the 23. And the Thursday Night Football theme music by Brett Barrow. As you see, the Nashville factory of Gibson manufacturing their Les Paul and SG models. Let's see what the Jag can do with their 2nd series. Failing to put up an opening drive touchdown the first time they had it for the 21st consecutive game. In time. The second drive starts with a completion of 9 yards to Julius Thomas, and we send it down to the sideline and check in with Tracy Wolfson. Tracy.
Jim, there is definitely a sense of urgency surrounding this Jacksonville team, and it was no more evident than on Monday when team owner Shad Khan met with the players and coaches. I spoke with Khan right before the game, and he said it's all about accountability. He said he wanted to know why they weren't living up to his potential and what he can do to help. And Gus Bradley told us it was a positive meeting, but still, he knows that they need to achieve something tonight with a win against the Titans, Jim.
All right, Tracy, 2nd and 1. Ball's on the ground, and that's fallen on by Chris Ivory. Interesting, Tennessee's opponent had not fumbled once through the first 7 games, either forced or unforced.
Hard to believe that.
Forget even just a fumble recovery.
Malame, his own guy, knocked it out of his hand. Number 77 hits him there unexpectedly. That's what brings the football out.
Ivory able to fall on it. Shad Khan actually spoke with the team too before that London game. You heard the report from Tracy. They won that game after their 0-3 start, defeating the Colts at Wembley Stadium. 3rd and 3 in the pocket. That's wide of the mark, trying to hit Robinson across the middle.
Had him. You know, they got TJ Yeldon up near the line of scrimmage because they think if it's a blitz, let's get that extra blocker close. But it just makes you nervous as a quarterback. And then they cross receivers in the middle. And really, he slows down a little bit, the wide receiver. Blake Bortles fooled. That's why it was incomplete.
So they had a 2nd and 1, and now on 4th and 3, they bring out Nortman for the 2nd time. Mentioned he was with the Panthers last year, the NFC champions, and he punted 7 times in Super Bowl 50. He leads the AFC in net average. He actually hits the ground, but there's no flag as the ball bounces around at the 33. And look at that, scooped up on with condensed games in 45 minutes, or the full broadcast versions. Get the midseason offer now at NFL.com/Game Pass today. The Grand Ole Opry House, a music mecca just down the street at Ryman Auditorium, the original Grand Ole Opry, and the legendary country stars Larry Gatlin and the Gatlin brothers are performing as we speak over there. Meanwhile, the Titans are performing for the 3rd time on offense. Stiff arm by Murray, trying to shake free and able to get back to the line of scrimmage. He had right away Chris Smith on him. Already having run 16 plays here and having the football the majority of this opening quarter.
Yep, Jacksonville, 2 really uninspiring possessions with their offense. Good drive last time by Tennessee. But they're finding the running tough here early in the going.
Saw 81 on the field, right side receiver, Andre Johnson. Tried to keep his balance, falls forward, gets in within a couple of a first down. 3rd and 2 coming up. Matthews coming over by way of the Dolphins in free agency. This is one area where you say, well, moving forward, they've drafted some really good-looking prospects on that offensive line to tackles and other areas, but that might be one area that we'll definitely go after in the offseason.
No question, Jim. Wide receiver, they need one more big-time wide receiver. They got Delaney Walker tonight. Kendall Wright is going to be in the slot position a lot, too. He was a high draft pick. They need his help.
3rd and 2. Going outside, picking up the first down. It's Murray able to do the high wire act all the way to the 36 of Jacksonville.
Well, the guys we talk about, what's 77, Taylor Lewan. He's mean, he's athletic. Really one of those what you call franchise tackles. He plays the left side, he leads it. And what a run by Murray. You know, you think of him as this big, just straight ahead runner, and it looked like there was nothing there, but he dipped in, got outside, and got it done.
When you talk about Murray and what he has done, it's a little deceiving, some of the records he has down in Dallas. Might surprise you. 22-yard run to close out the first quarter. 3-0 Titans at 108 yards of offense for the Titans, 19 for Jacksonville. They had actually more penalty yards, the Jags 20 yards, than offensive yards. As we begin the second quarter, Jim Nance with Phil Simms and Tracy Wolfson and Jay Feely. Here in Nashville, it's 1st and 10. And play action. Mariota going for the big ball. He's got the 6-yard strike from Mariota.
Kendall Wright is back. You know, injured, but the speed, we saw it a little last week. Here he is. He just goes all the way across the field. Not sure which safety is, but what is he doing? What are you looking at? And what a throw. Most quarterbacks throw this up the field where it makes it a tough catch, but Mariota that time threw it across the field, and Kendall Wright ran for the football and got it.
Got away from Deshaun Gibson.
That was Gibson back. He usually is the deep safety. Cyprian's the one is up, so boy, nobody else to look at. I guess he was thinking run the whole way, never paid attention to Kendall Wright. Good play design, great throw by Mariota.
Mariota had thrown 8 touchdowns over the last 3 games. And that's tied for most coming into the week over the last 3 with Brady and Stafford. Now he's got a 9th in 3 games, a quarter, and 1 play. 10 points in 3 minutes and 38-second span.
Was supposed to drop back and help him out and got caught up with the play action fake.
So the Jags once again in a hole early, and Ivory able to cut through a tiny opening and pick up 4. Woodyard is there to bring him down, and Bradley's team just can't get off to a good start.
Well, they can't. And he brought up the word anxiety last night that kind of made me think about it tonight. Anxiety creeps in because he's got a team. They know they're pretty good. They want to be great. So those expectations are almost weighing them down. And you and I, hey, look, we said it. That's the feeling we got from him last night.
There's a 2nd and 6 throw, and the pass is ruled a catch. Thomas with his 2nd reception, and 3rd and 1 is coming up. Now Bradley says, hey, about this anxiety, I'm not asking you guys to be Superman out there. Just do your best. In fact, he wanted to dial it back a little bit emotionally. He said, "I know that sounds a little strange, but the too much trying to like say we're going to change the history of this franchise. We got a challenge flag coming out. That ball might have hit the dirt first."
Yeah, as you were talking, I was watching. I thought he got his hands under it, but it's close enough. Mike Mularkey thinks it's worth a challenge here early in the game.
No, he's challenging a 5-yard completion.
The decision on the field is that it was an incomplete pass. That was our ruling. There will be no challenge by Tennessee.
Okay. Well, so they already changed their mind. Oh, so they've already, the officials at first did rule a catch, and then they say, no, you don't need to challenge it because we
they ruled it incomplete. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, because it definitely did hit the ground.
It goes back to the 29-yard line, and it's 3rd and 6.
Obvious passing situation. Look, loaded with pass rushers. You saw Brian Orakpo yesterday. Did he look like a pass rusher to you? He looked like whatever he wanted to be. I mean, so they got Orakpo. They got Jarrell Casey, Carl Klug, Derek Morgan. It's get the football, read it, and get rid of it. That's what you have to do against this pass rushing defense.
Okay, can they convert on 3rd down for the first time and try to stem this momentum that's early advantage Titans? 3rd and 6. Here comes the blitz. Bortles has to unload that, and it's knocked down incomplete. Robinson was covered there by Valentino Blake, and it's another quick series for the Jags. Look at Casey coming in after the quarterback and others.
Casey, Sean Spence occupies the guard, and then Jarrell Casey comes free. So mix up on who to block. When in doubt, always block the big man. Let a big guy run through there.
And her catch. Mary Annie at the 31. 23 yards of offense. That's all mustered so far by Jacksonville. Next week, Thursday Night Football. Exclusively on NFL Network. Julio Jones and the Falcons take on Jameis Winston and the Bucs next Thursday, 7:30 Eastern. And direct snap here to Murray, and it looks like he's got a gain of 11.
Yep, they came out there quickly. What to do? They get the two running backs going to the right. Murray takes it to the left, and saw this in practice, and they do it so quick, defense not ready to adjust. See everybody going to the right? Murray goes to the left, the offensive line, good blocking out front.
He faked the handoff to his rookie backup, Derrick Henry.
I said to DeMarco Murray, how's it feel to be back in the situation where you're behind the quarterback?
He's back in the comfort zone. Here is Henry. Derrick Henry. And it's the second straight play that goes for 11. And he tangled up there at the end with Jalen Ramsey, rookie to rookie.
To the right, two tight ends, the blocking. And Derrick Henry's so big, you don't think that, oh, he can outrun defensive backs and get around the corner. He's big and fast, and he's fresh because DeMarco Murray got up most of the carries last week.
Tennessee's last 4 plays have gone for at least 11 yards. As this time Henry plows into the line for a couple. Kind of interesting. They've got back-to-back Heisman Trophy winners on this Titans roster.
Well, we had
Mariota and then Henry.
Yeah, we had a Heisman Trophy winner out there tonight, Eddie George, right?
Yeah, as the 12th man.
Yeah, 12th man.
So I asked Malarkey, who's going to win the Heisman and where are you going to play him next year?
Right. That's it. What's he? He was non-committal.
Yeah.
Answer?
Don't have a vote. Here's a 2nd and 8. Handoff to Henry. He slipped on the cut. Look at the Heisman winners since 2010. From Cam, will they get on track this week coming off the bye? RG3 and then Manziel and Winston. Tampa Bay, a couple straight wins.
There's a guy.
Marcus.
There's another one.
And then Henry.
You know, they probably got Derrick Henry to Alabama. He was that big in high school. We saw some highlights. I'm sure Nick Saban said, man, I got me a really good defensive end. And then after a year or two, he had a few carries, and all of a sudden, he overtook some other pro running backs and became the main man in Alabama to win the Heisman Trophy.
It's 3rd and 8 here. As Mariota's pass is pulled down. What a catch. And again, it's Kendall Wright. That one for 15. He's off to a great start here with the touchdown from 36. And picks up the first down here on 3rd and 8. We got a flag out, though.
Delaney Walker on a good blitz pickup. They guessed right. They kept him in. Boy, you're right. Kendall Wright snatched the ball out of the air.
Personal foul. Defense number 56. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Dante Fowler, number 56. Anthony Fasano staying with him, and then, oh, there it is. That'll get you. That'll get you a foul. Penalties last week.
Ejections.
A team. Ejections. 2 tonight. Man, these are things that get you in trouble.
Yep, 2 personal fouls already on the Jacksonville defense.
Very undisciplined so far.
Here is a 1st and 10 from the 15. As Mariota just going to throw it away over the head of Derrick Henry. You mentioned him in high school, Derrick Henry. I got a question. Right. How can you stop this in high school? Look at the size here.
Look at him. And yeah, and the thing about him is he was as big in high school as he is right now, but he's deceptively fast, and he can go side. Everybody just thought, oh, he's not going to be a good pro running back and all this, and you know, big, strong, and fast. I don't know, that works at any level. That's who he is.
Passes the eye test, doesn't he?
He passes it, and he got the right team to draft him. Now they got backups that use his power running.
Ahead for a gain of 9. He was the 45th selection in that draft. Supernaw, one of the backup tight ends, helped throw a big block here.
Supernaw gets the block, and Malarkey said they got nervous when they drafted him. He said, we just signed DeMarco Murray. Hey, you can never have enough good of anything. Running backs, Tracy Wolfson probably thinks she's covering an SEC game right now. Derrick Henry plowing in there getting extra yards.
Well, he's got a 3rd and 1 here from the 6. Going back to it. Henry goes out. There's that speed the touchdown.
He didn't know where to go. He could have gone inside for the touchdown. But Delaney Walker, the best pass receiving tight on this team, the tight end, one of the fastest in the NFL, and he can also block. Boy, that was something serious by Derrick Henry. Then you got Supernall. He gets the block. And once again, even though Ramsey is outside and thinks he's in good position, watch him outside. Oh, I got him? No, I don't. And boy, if you had anxiety on the Jacksonville sideline before the game starts, how do you feel now?
Got to be brutal. Just saw the rookie rush for 28 yards on that drive alone and score the touchdown. Looks like that extra point is good.
You know what? He's better in person than he is on TV when you see it live.
Question, like you said. Yeah, it'll work. If you like power and you like speed, it'll do.
It'll work.
To the end zone, and the Jags, the first three quarters 1 through 3 on the road this year, they have been outscored on the road 65-0.
Man.
By the way, they had 17 points in the fourth quarter to win in Chicago.
Yep, I watched that game, of course.
But blank through 3 quarters in that one, too.
They might have to go to their hurry-up offense is what gives Blake Bortles the best chance, I think, to succeed. But, you know, one of the problems, and we're not blaming him tonight because it's a lot of problems, but his throwing motion, we talked about it, it's inconsistent, and he drops it. Now he kind of loses control of the football, and this is the one that really got people talking last week. The ball gets away from him. If he's crisp and drives it, it's going to be a touchdown. And tonight, it has looked better. It's a little tighter. He works on it hard, but you know what? You can't be thinking about your throwing motion when you're playing. You can't think about it when you're warming up. I got something else to say about this throwing motion when this play's over.
Well, he's 2 out of 7 so far for 18 yards, and here's going to try to throw. Dumps it off here. Yeldon, and that's the same spot on the field where we saw.
Yeah, the ball side. He wasn't down.
No.
So don't give up.
We've seen now 2 players in that very area right there near the 30-yard line lose their footing, gain of 2. Back to Bortles.
Yeah, let me just go back to all these people that say all the time, oh, you can't change their throwing motions. Well, they're wrong. Absolutely. I've watched Peyton Manning change from his rookie year to second year. I've seen Tom Brady refine his many times. Aaron Rodgers changed his dramatically from college. Jim, you know, Tony Romo's always tinkering, fine-tuning, so you can change it. So that's something he's going to have to really work on this all season if he wants to be a top-flight quarterback in this league.
2nd and 8, winds it up, completes it to Robinson. His first catch goes for only 3, maybe 4. Robinson, who had monster numbers last year in the game here, had 10 catches, 153 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And some thought it was going to be just a huge season for him. It hasn't been that at all so far.
It hasn't. You know, he's getting treated like a star. So you get double teamed there. They got 2 people looking at you at all times. So he's got to make adjustments, but so does the offense by lining him up in different spots to give him a better chance. And here's Dick LeBeau. Is it going to be a blitz? Are they going to fake it?
3rd and 4. Pass.
Yeah, they're just that was terrible.
Nowhere near Robinson.
The throw was terrible. Robinson wasn't looking in time, and Blake Bortles was upset.
Bortles now 0 for 4 on 3rd down.
He's trying to throw a back shoulder, and the receiver read it the opposite. It's tough. Well, I'll tell you, it is all. It's what do you do? What plays? No confidence, no rhythm. They're shell-shocked.
Norton. Flying through the air, and a flag comes out as he was popped on the attempt to field it. He was hit in the head by Aurelius Ben.
Well, at least he was hustling. He won the game for him a couple weeks ago in Chicago.
He made the diving catch. The defender Porter slipped, and he took off to the end zone.
With the opportunity to catch the ball. The penalty is 15 yards from the spot of the foul. 1st down, timeout.
Well, everything right now out of sync for Jacksonville. and outmatched. And Tennessee will have excellent starting field position, already up 17-0 in the second. Light beer with your team on it. And the Titans are on it again. Now look at this little trickery here as they hand it off to Walker. On the end around, the tight end picks up 3.
I thought they might run some of this earlier because that's old Statue of Liberty, wasn't it? That's what it was.
Yeah.
And Delaney Walker, boy, you know what? It seemed like yesterday we were doing the Super Bowl and they were talking about Delaney Walker with the San Francisco 49ers. He has not gotten any slower. He's only gotten better over the years.
They let a good one get away. And they came here right after that Super Bowl season. He used to return kicks for the 49ers back in those days. That's kind of versatility he has. 2nd and 7. Look at this pass. Oh, he's got it. That looked like a backwards pass. Let's see if they put that down in the books as a rush.
Oh, that Chip Kelly's so jealous right now. He goes, oh my gosh, he did this play so much in Oregon. He reads it, runs it, and if they take the run away, here they come to take the run. Got blockers out in front. He throws it to Kendall Wright.
Goes in the record book as a 15-yard run, not a pass play.
Yep, a lot of teams. We saw this early with Chip Kelly down in Philadelphia, but this is just mixed in with an offense that has what we said, power running game, lots of different runs, play action, zone reads, and a fast quarterback.
Almost 200 yards more offense for the Titans. Added to it here with the completion. Superman slips out of the tackle, runs down the sideline. Did he ever step out? Got a touchdown signal. Superman breaking tackles like Superman. Boy, I'd say it's got to be close. Got to be close. Oh, he's out.
Yeah, he's tight a long time down the sideline. Oh,
he definitely steps out here at the 15.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Good eyes. You know, you get old, but your eyes are still good.
Careful.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's right. Who am I to talk about that? I'm up here with.
How about Superman?
Yeah, it was awesome.
The previous play is under review.
Scoring play, they're going to look at it. Gus Bradley needs to pull his team over there and give them a talk.
No doubt this is not going to hold up.
Falcons face the Buccaneers. Anything can happen on Thursday. Thursday Night Football next Thursday at 7:30, only on NFL Network.
Phillips Supernaw trying to get his first career touchdown, but here we go.
After review, the ruling on the field has been changed. The runner stepped out of bounds on the 14.5-yard line. Game clock operator, set the game clock to 7:30. 7:30. Thank you.
Supernaw out of Ouachita Baptist, the same school that produced Cliff Harris, one of my all-time favorite Cowboys.
Out of bounds, clearly.
Yep. And the son of a country music star.
Oh, good.
Doug Supernaw.
Pretty appropriate for here. Let me just say this about Jacksonville's defense. It's built on speed, being simple, and tackling. And when that goes away, what do you got? And the answer is nothing. So
here's a first down handoff to Moreeeee. He breaks free. Look at Mariota trying to lead him to the end zone. And he dives for the pylon, and he's got it. And wait till you see what the quarterback did.
well, he had the running lane probably for a big game. Brian Schwenke, the left guard, pulls around. It's wide open. Watch the left guard pull. Look how open. Stay in there. No. But he reverses field. Taylor Lewan keeps his block on the outside. Man.
I heard question about that one.
I heard Marshall Faulk talking about it in the pregame a little bit. When you have two really good running backs, you stay motivated.
Hey, pylon camera. Never better positioned. And Mariota was able to really shield and cut off the angle for Aaron Colvin.
That's a good word, shield. Don't try to block him.
3 touchdowns in a 7-minute and 44-second stretch.
Really surprised by this. I really am. I thought that we'd see by Jacksonville. They're mentally just not there.
As they have already shredded Jacksonville for 260 total yards, that Tennessee offense, 260 to 29.
2 running backs, and if they don't make it as running backs, they can always be outside linebackers. So
position, they're pretty well suited already. This team that's on the rise in Tennessee with the likes of Derek Morgan and Ryan Rekpo. All right, let's take a look at some next-gen stats presented by Mercedes-Benz.
Let's see if you're surprised by this. Who blitzes the most in the NFL this year? Tennessee, led by Dick LeBeau, Mr. Blitzburg himself. Also, they've given up the most yards when they blitz, so that's a bad thing. But why do they take so many chances? It's Dick LeBeau's way of saying, I really don't have deep down great confidence in the defensive backs, so he tries to help them out sometimes with these unique blitzes. And of course, when you blitz, it's going to backfire sometimes.
Hall of Famer Dick LeBeau. Here's Bortles. First down pass. Sails past Robinson. So if you're Dick LeBeau and you come to Tennessee, you can't call it the Blitzburg defense here in Tennessee.
I know I got to come up with a new name. Look out here in the flat. What do? You're drew it too far. When you're trying to get some rhythm as a quarterback, throw it to the short guy, get the completion. He took the chance, go down there. Yeah, I got to come up with a better name.
Smashville.
Smashville. Wait, did you have that ready?
You said come up with a new one. I just did it.
Okay.
Grant Snedeker's up here in the booth, Nashville's favorite son, and he slipped that one to me. 2nd and 10, and there's a pass complete to Lee. The Jags have a much-needed first down as Bortles is shaking that right hand. He took a hit, pick up the 21.
Now, it's a nice route by Marquise Lee. He's really got the energy, that extra vibe. Oh man, that motion, and did he get hit?
He hits the back of the helmet.
But this hurry up,
hurry
up's a good idea to tire the defense out, but try to get your quarterback Blake Bortles in rhythm.
First down in an 18-minute stretch on the game clock. That ball knocked down.
You know, we talked about it, Jim, the frustration of this offense, the receivers, all those big plays they made last year down the field. Well, everybody talked about it all offseason, those big plays. So defenses were ready for them, and they changed their coverages. So, hey, the NFL's about making adjustments. The tight ends, there's no rule says you can't throw to the tight ends and running back when they're double covering your wide receivers.
Lee's 21-yard catch sent him up at this point. 2nd and 10. And a 3rd and 1 on the next snap as Thomas has a catch for 9.
Great example right there. Really, that throw by Blake Bortles is where I think he throws it best. He threw it a little sidearm, and when he does, he seems to really control the ball much better.
Crossing midfield for the first time, Jacksonville. Ivory's the running back. I'm going to go up top. Pass low, but caught. Robinson and another first.
And nice catch. Throws like that have stopped drives the last couple weeks. Got his hands under there, looks like a catch, but way too hard.
Mike 59, Mike 59.
Shouldn't have been that difficult.
Nope.
380.
New set of downs at the 39 of the Titans.
It's going to be a blitz. He knew it. Calls timeout.
Timeout Jags with 5:15 to go in the first half. Jacksonville. And a first down snap out of the gun. Trying to put something together at last. That's Bortles still holding the football Zone read, no gain. Brought down by Bass.
Yep, misread by Blake Bortles. You know, just shouldn't have kept it. That was Bass on the outside. His job was to watch the quarterback. He did the whole way. You know, look, the pressure's off now. It's 24-0. Greg Olson, the offensive coordinator, just see if you can throw your way back into this football game.
He's got Robinson at the top with Blake on him. Big size advantage, but they're going to go in the middle of the field. And Mercedes Lewis for 6.
I think, you know, the matchup of the tight ends in this game is good for the Jacksonville team.
Lewis with the catch, Thomas with 2 catches.
Yep. You know, they're going to look. They got safeties covering them, and then a lot of times a couple times it's been zone coverage, so nobody's really watching them. Take the short throws.
Hold on a minute. We got another timeout. This one by Tennessee. Mercedes Lewis with a catch a moment ago. He is mic'd up. Let's listen in to the Jacksonville sideline.
Just one play at a time, okay? Don't press. Don't press. It's 0-0. One play at a time, okay? We do one play at a time to the best of our ability and just stack them up.
That's an 11-year veteran trying to somehow send a message to his team.
Sure, you just play. Just do it. You know, it is true. You know, when you're out there, it is about survival. Unfortunately, played for many teams that got in these situations, and you just play the play.
3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. On a 3rd and 5.
Look at this, everybody standing up, moving around.
Here they come. Bortles, TET, back at the 43. Williamson got across that line so fast you couldn't believe it.
They get everybody going one way, and there's nobody there for the linebacker. And when they all stand up, Avery Williamson, that's a blitz they love. Get everybody moving one way, bring somebody around. That time it was a linebacker.
Right, Norman. Got to think of something off of this one. Marianne, take him out, head fake. And that's a good punt by Norman. Down at about the 6-yard line. Well, you came in saying, all right, what are these teams going to look like? We've had this game down in Jacksonville the last 2 years, and now you got the Titans with a chance to go to 4-4. You know, with a win here tonight, suddenly with the way that division's unfolding, that second half of the season could be, every game could be relevant for them for, you know, first time in a long time in November and December.
Yeah, and you know, it's what we talked about. It is, I mean, we met with a 3-4 team, and we walked out of the building. Did you think they were 3-4? Because I think they know they're close. And it's evident, just watching this. I know it's Jacksonville, but it's evident at some of the talent that's out there.
Well, you know, they gave Moreeeee the full-time job last year. Took over for Ken Wisenhunt early in the season, and Moreeeee had been at Buffalo as a head coach, 1 year at Jacksonville in 2012. And
right.
He comes in and tried to change the attitude, the culture. You hear that a lot of times.
Yeah,
the roster, and man, I'll tell you, things from what we've seen in 1 year, it's a lot different.
Jack Conklin, first-round draft pick, right tackle. Got a great left tackle in Taylor Lewan,
who just moved.
Well, they can't be perfect.
Full start. Offense number 77. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
They get DeMarco Murray. They draft Derrick Henry. They got the pass rushing defensive lineman. Man, what else can I say? I mean, yeah, do they have a few holes? Yes. We talked about the wide receivers. Defensive secondary sometimes can be a weak spot.
Moreeeee working well with their GM, John Robinson. Jones this time close in quickly on Murray, and it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 24-0. Tennessee off to a tremendous start here tonight. On all 5 possessions, Jacksonville scoring on 4 straight possessions. 3rd and 13 though, Tennessee. Are they going to get it? They are. They get the first down on the ground. Just when you thought Jacksonville might have a chance to have a short field before they have to put something on the board.
I mean, they line up. You know it's going to be a rush. And once again, they do not have outside contain. Amukamara that time lets him jump outside. He had a chance to get good field position, maybe score. 2 timeouts, near 2 minutes, and just really basic stuff they're making mistakes at. I mean, come on, you've seen DeMarco Murray and these guys running that. You know they got the speed to get outside, make them go in.
19-yard run. Murray looked like he might have pulled up at the end of that run. And I'm watching him walk over to the bench and talking to a trainer as they dump it across the middle to Walker for a catch of 4 yards. And coming up next, the Lexus halftime report. JB, Coach Cower, prime time, all the first half analysis and highlights coming up. Down the field. Near the 50 is Kendall Wright.
They have missed Kendall Wright in this offense, and this is really simple. A simple defense, a simple route right up the seam.
A 23-yard pass play. Now I see Murray is being escorted early to the locker room. As Henry bounces around and stopped for no gain. On that 19-yard burst, I couldn't help but notice that Murray seemed to just pull up at the very end of that run.
Well, with this lead and everything and 10 days off, you play it extremely safe.
2nd and 10. Almost got to him. Now he flips it. Was he past the line of scrimmage?
Yes, he was.
And now the flag comes out. It was tossed too late to Henry.
I thought he was past the line of scrimmage. Now remember, his whole body has to be across the line. Every single piece of his body has to be across the line of scrimmage before the ball is released for it to be illegal.
Can't even imagine what Gus Bradley is thinking over on that far sideline. His team,
well,
again, was spoken to by the owner this week, trying to figure out a way to execute better, fire this team up. Looked at it as a showcase window for them, playing in a nighttime spot.
Illegal forward pass, offense number 8. He was beyond the line of scrimmage. That 5-yard penalty is a loss of down, 3rd down. By rule, inside of 1 minute, it would require a 10-second runoff. Jacksonville has declined the 10-second runoff option.
All right, here he is, 50-yard line. Does he flip it before then? Oh, it's not illegal.
Wow.
It's not. That is not even close.
Now again, we're inside 2 minutes. So they're going to review it. And it cannot be challenged from the sideline. It's got to come from up top.
Yep, that's right. And, you know, you talked about Gus Bradley, the most optimistic. Let's just watch it, 50-yard line. Let's just make sure one more time. You know, I've been perfect all year on these calls. It's not going to ruin right here. His whole body's behind the line of scrimmage.
Wait, didn't you already say he was past the line of scrimmage?
No, but I saw a replay and I have to make the challenge.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we won't count that one.
Okay. You know, I keep score different than everybody else.
Yeah, obviously.
But Gus Bradley, what did he tell you? Every day his mother woke him up. He's such a positive guy.
Said, Gus, wake up. Something good is about to happen.
Today, you know, so far today, it's not happening.
The way it's going right now, I think he'd like to go back to bed. Coming up next, the Lexus halftime report. James Brown and Bill Cowher, Deion Sanders, first half highlights, and analysis.
Well, the analysis of this game, you can do it two ways. You can just sit there and crush the Jaguars and say how they're playing, or you could go look at Tennessee, the positives and what they've done. So that's the good side. They have played with energy. You see certain aspects of the game, the power running game.
They're already moving the football down inside the 40. And John Hussey's going to confirm what we suspected. They're going to change their call.
After review, the passer was not beyond the line of scrimmage. We will place the ball at the 40-yard line. It will be 1st and 10. By rule, inside of 1 minute, when we have a replay that changes the outcome of the play, it requires a 10-second runoff. Tennessee has elected to take a timeout to avoid that 10-second runoff. Timeout, Tennessee.
Kind of a quirky thing. They get somewhat penalized, even though it was the wrong call against them in the first place. It had to be overturned. So it cost them a timeout. First down at the 40.
Competition committee always needs new things to talk about, so they can fix this one too. But going back to that, the positives of Tennessee, but the disappointment by everybody in Jacksonville. They're just the coaches and just what they've done here tonight.
First down 17-3. Scoreboard 24-0, and it could get worse. With 46 seconds to go and one timeout for the Titans.
The worse. You think you got them backed up, 3rd and long. They line up
13
and they line up and say, we're going to run it up the middle. They told them, and they broke it outside for the big gain. And here we are.
Mariota rolling away from the heat and crosses it out of bounds. That was the rookie out of Maryland, Ngakoue, who was coming toward Mariota.
Ngakoue, 3rd-round pick, had 13.5 sacks at Maryland last year. They wanted him, of course, bad. They thought about taking him in the 2nd round. They said, no, let's wait. They took Miles Jack, a linebacker, and there he was in the 3rd. And he is starting over their high draft pick from last year, Dante Fowler.
Fowler, who missed his rookie season, blew out a knee his first day of practice after being drafted a year ago.
Promising young star for them.
3rd overall. Here's a 2nd and 10 pass play, and it's Matthews. Got a first down. The clock runs.
Caught him on a blitz. Same play that we saw earlier. Exact same play.
Puts him in field goal range. They're holding on to the timeout.
Switching positions at release. Defensive backs don't switch. Get caught running behind.
Mariota. Got a man open on the sideline. That's Sharp. Tanjay Sharp, the rookie from UMass, with his first catch.
Mariota is really sharp tonight.
How about 15 out of 18 for 205 yards?
There you go. You see him crossing the receivers, and here they go across. That's tough. They got to make an adjustment to that. The defensive backs have to switch, or somebody's got to get closer off the line of scrimmage. But Mariota standing in the pocket, just, he is letting it rip, and it is on target. Playing with great freedom.
We've got one timeout left and 15 seconds. Snap from the 19. Got time to go underneath here as Henry breaks it. Look at Henry. Power ahead down to the 4.
Wow.
Timeout. And they'll go field goal.
3rd and final charge timeout, Tennessee. This will be a 30-second.
Another good decision. He's going to throw it down the field, and he pulls it back at the last second, finds his 2nd receiver. That was a really good job by the quarterback, and I don't know. Go ahead, give me some words. I don't have the words for Henry. I've run out of them. He's pretty good.
Your reservoir of superlatives has gone bone dry.
Yeah, I usually use them all. Well,
Wait, that lasted a half. Here's a short field.
Kind of like my career. I was usually good for about half the game, right? Is that what you're trying to say?
Suck up from 22 yards out. It's going to be a 90-yard drive for the 3. The close out. A dominating 2 quarters. 27-0. Bortles trots away 8 of 16, 64 yards.
I got news for Jacksonville. You know, this is the NFL. They don't put in the backups like they do in college.
They had 60 yards of offense, Jacksonville, versus 354. And we go down to Tracy.
Well, there's not much to say. We're not, playing with good leverage. There's a lot of fundamental errors that are taking place out there. We got to regroup, and it's more of a mental thing right now. We got to come back strong in the second half.
You mentioned the mental thing. Can you sense that your team has just given up?
No, I don't say. I sense that they're pressing too hard. They're trying to make things happen. They're coming out here, and then when you do that, things like this can happen. We got to regroup, clear our mind up, and come down and play football like we're capable of playing.
One more. Can we see a change at quarterback at all?
No.
Thanks a lot.
It's kind of what he mentioned to us yesterday about being too ramped up. 27-0. Tennessee trouncing Jacksonville. The Jags will be receiving the third quarter kick. We heard Dion, we heard Coach Cowher at halftime. The effort there in the first half from Jacksonville just wasn't there.
Yeah, it's effort. I think Gus Bradley said it right. Just some of the mental errors, they're really unexcusable because the errors they made in those run plays, Jim, I mean, that is truly the first day you get together, you talk about that. So you should never make those mistakes. They did, and all of them turned out to be big plays and many other things. That's why they're down 27-0.
In that first half, Mariota throws for over 200 yards for the first time in his career in the first half. The total yards, how about 354 in the first half?
Yeah, the highest in the NFL this year against a defense, a defensive specialist that was supposed to be hard to move the football against.
Tonight's Next Gen Stats presented by Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. Well, and then on the other side, 60 yards. That's all Jacksonville managed.
Well, Jacksonville, what do? You're having a hard time stopping the blitz. You do nothing in the run game. The offensive line never winning the battle at the line of scrimmage. That's been the case really all year long. So we sit here and you go, oh, the quarterback's going to bail us out. That's left them too.
All right, Tracy, what did you hear at halftime?
Well, just an update on DeMarco Murray. We saw him go into the locker room early, right before the end of the half. It is a foot injury. His return right now is questionable, but he remains in the locker room. As I'm watching, he has yet to come out, Jim.
And Murray had rushed for 82 yards and a touchdown in the first half before that foot injury in the last 2 minutes. Here's a first down throw over to Yeldon. And Yeldon slips out of a tackle, and he has a first down. Yeldon, who was in the backfield and was a year ahead of Derrick Henry at Alabama.
Yeah, how about that? And it's just had to wait your time. Derrick Henry kind of overtook him. T.J. Yeldon has caught 20 passes this year. He's coming into this game, so pretty good at it.
You saw Murray trotting onto the field as if no issues with the foot. As that ball is dropped by Hearns. So Murray looks like as he's low-fiving, high-fiving, he might have got some good news.
Yep. Body language looks good. They're saying, okay, whatever it is, it's not serious. And still be surprised if we saw him in this game anymore tonight.
Yeah. Why would you do it? With a lead of this size, and a 2nd and 10, and they rush 5, and that means Bortles' pass to Lee is nowhere near him.
No, not even close. Just so indecisive. You got a Blake Bortles. They pick up the blitz. He's got Marquise Lee. He's got leverage. He's open, and he just doesn't time it up. Doesn't trust himself enough to just sit there, wait, and then just rip it in there. That's what you do. Look, he's big, strong, great presence, can run. But sooner or later, you got to make ordinary and terrific throws from the pocket.
3rd down. That's a good cut. Trying to take off for the yardage, and he butts heads with McCourty, and they're going to give him the first. Good effort that time by Bortles.
Oh, it's excellent, man. This is something that's you can't take away from him. He is big and strong, and he can run. And this is his way of saying a lot of things that I can't repeat. Just that's why he lowered his head and went at McCourty, because he's got to be upset. Has to hate the way he played the first half along with that whole football team.
Yeldon. That is a good little 6-yard run as he tap danced around some early pressure. They have not been able to really establish anything on the ground this year. Ivory, by the second week of the season, he was out, and that kind of threw them for an early loop on how to try to get this offense in rhythm.
30th in the league. I thought Chris Ivory would be here tonight and really maybe give him some energy.
2nd and 4. That's a first down to Hearns.
You know, as you watch it, you know, sooner or later, Jim, you know, we're getting late in the season, and you got to sit there and make a decision. Okay, we want to help our quarterback. We want to run the ball and all this. You just got to say, hey, we can't do it. Find more ways to throw it, just like you have these few short throws early here in the second half, and go with that type of offense more than just line it up saying we're going to establish the run.
Bortles underneath, Yeldon. He's got another first down. First time tonight that Jacksonville has gotten this deep into Tennessee territory.
Well, this is what they're just giving them. They're letting them, this is like end of the game defense right now. Just play real safe. They're going to give him these short throws, but they're just waiting for one of their defensive linemen to get a sack, create a negative play, or when the time is right, the blitz will come.
They've got 3 first downs on this drive after having 3 the entire first half, and Bortles that time throws it into the ground in the area of Robinson.
It's just a bad throw. I mean, he's got all the time in the world. This is terrible. Came out the side of his hand. Nobody's around him, and he bounces it to Allen Robinson. So that's part of the frustration, you know, of these receivers, the quarterback too. But that's a lack of confidence, technique, and everything that we talked about.
2nd and 10. Here comes the blitz. It's Ivory with the catch and able to take it down near the 17. And he could have gotten away from that hit. Boy knows, could have kicked it in gear and gotten deep into the secondary. 6-yard gain.
They guessed right that time. They called the screen play against the blitz, and it did have a chance to go.
Mariota over there with his backup, Matt Castle. 3rd and 4. Tennessee ready to pounce again. Here they come. Hearns, another 3rd down catch for a first. So the Jags come out here to start the 3rd quarter, finally able to get some sort of rhythm going. 8 yards.
Yeah, good throw that time. Right on target. Caught the blitz. Had the right call played, and you know that's twice. You know, you notice that throw was sidearm, and I'm not going to harp on this all night, but that's when it comes out of his hand the best. When he drops his arm down and just lets it go that way.
It's a 1st and goal. The full 10 yards to go as Bortles looks to the end zone, and he has the touchdown. That is Julius Thomas breaking the plane, even though he ended outside of the end zone. It is a touchdown for the Jags from 10 yards out.
Yeah, good timing, good throw. And this time he lets it go and gets it in there with some speed before they can get there. Julius Thomas, again, another play where Stafford backed off, looked up right in front of him.
Going for 2 here.
Well, they're just doing this just to try to keep momentum going. I wouldn't go for 2. I'd kick the extra point.
First 2-point attempt of the season for Jacksonville. Taken off and easily getting there is Bortles. Trying to figure, I guess, 3 touchdowns, 3 twos.
Yep, that's right.
And
3 touchdowns, 2s, and a 7. But the John Elway draw, he started it. A lot of people do it now.
Finally, something goes right for Jacksonville. They drive 75 yards in 11 plays. Bill?
Well, you know, look, Jim, they're looking for an onside kick. I don't think Gus Bradley would try it here. At 27, the onside kick, don't get it. That would just take all momentum away from you. And here's your favorite spot. Why not chip the kick over these people all up front and give the offense bad field position?
Yeah, from the 40 all the way back, you have one player. You got one player. They're going to kick it deep. Take it at the 25. Mariani.
Okay.
What you were talking. Murray has his helmet on. Titans coming out on offense for the first time second half. In that first half, Jacksonville surrendering 354 yards. That's the second most allowed by the Jags in the first half in team history. And as you mentioned, the most first half yardage in the league by any team this year. Here's Murray.
Well, we heard Bill Cowher talk about at the end of the first half, and just mistakes. All the down blocks. Who's the outside defender? Jalen Ramsey, and he lets Derrick Henry get outside. Now, those are the plays that Gus Bradley talked about to Tracy Wolfson. Another one, stay outside, don't chase the car. And then Mariota does a good job of getting in the way of Colvin to let him get in the end zone. But can you be sound? Don't get emotional. Get a 3 and out, and maybe your offense can get you back in this game.
2nd and 7. Murray again. Big cut. He gets chopped by Cyprian.
Yep. Now that time he did not lose his leverage. I don't know if I've ever used that word. You gotta have good leverage, Jim. If you're supposed to be on the outside, stay on the outside. Tony Smith on the tackle, but Cyprian did a great job of it.
Well, here you go. Can this Jacksonville defense get them off the field quickly and force a 3 and out for the first time tonight?
Here we go. This is it. Be a little different on defense.
From the gun. Mariota. Got wide open Walker. Gobbling up yardage before he's shoved out by Puslesny.
Yeah. This is something that hurts this style of defense a lot. We see it in Seattle. Delaney Walker is just going to run it out and up. And what happens is he goes out, nobody there, and he goes up. The inside, the corner is playing the in cut where he has to stay outside, but he never sees the receiver. That's why Delaney Walker was wide open. It's one of the faults in this, I want to say, Seattle defense that we've seen happen many times over the last couple of years.
47 yards. Longest play by either side tonight. Longest of the season for Walker. And now from the 20, they hand it back off to Murray, and he's taken off. Murray has it down to the 7. Into the arms of Gibson. But another big chunk of 18 yards.
Miles Jack on the outside. Where are you? Uh-oh. Caught looking inside. So it's just everything we saw in the first half, we're seeing here in the second. Look at the down blocks. Conklin gets a good one.
It's not holding.
No.
1st and goal.
A little jersey, but he had leverage twice. But he had him in a position to push him down inside.
Murray not going to be able to get it outside this time.
You know, not to be confused, when I said that Seattle-style defense, I know Seattle's not playing here, but Gus Bradley came from Seattle, and a lot of teams have copied what they've done because they had success. And the plays that, you know, people learn when you play all these defenses, everybody starts copying them, you learn to run plays that work against it. Really, this is a great answer by the Titans offense.
There's Murray moving back next to the quarterback. 2nd and goal from the 80s. Got his 100-yard performance. And he adds another 4 to it. That's 18 carries, 106, and a touchdown for Murray. And a 3rd and goal coming up. And bring back out Henry for this 3rd down snap, as well as Walker, who had sat in the last play. They're 7 out of 9 tonight on 3rd down.
Well, really good deception, good execution, pass protection. Delaney Walker comes in because he's their best receiving threat probably on the team. Now you got both the running backs back there. This could be option, zone read. A lot of things come into play.
Mariota got an open man. He's got a touchdown. It's Matthews. Well, boy, do they answer back. 75 yards of their own in just 7 plays. The second touchdown toss of the night for Mariota.
Well, they're watching the quarterback. Watch Telvin Smith, 50. There he is. He's looking inside, never sees the crosser. It's a zone defense. See him switch over. You know, don't go chasing where you're not supposed to. Stay in your spot. They will come to you. And that's why the touchdown looked pretty easy. That was some answer.
So touchdowns tonight by both backs, Murray and Henry. And then in the receiving game, Kendall Wright and Rashard Matthews. That extra point is wide of the mark.
Delaney Walker on that big catch, 3rd down. Kept the drive alive and led to this touchdown.
Also on 3rd down. Beer with your team on it.
Now, yes, the wrong can every week. So
we don't have the can competition anymore.
Yeah.
So don't be so hard on yourself.
Well, don't worry, I'm not.
I noticed.
You do that for me. Look at it. Look at this. How about this? First time scoring on 6 straight possessions since 2007 at Houston. Wow. So the 2007 at Houston.
Boy, the one that was the shocker, though, was the one right before the half when they broke that run on 3rd and 13 from their 3.
Backed up, yep.
Titans 8 out of 10 on 3rd down tonight for 152 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Again, another drive to start at the 25. Jacksonville's offense put something together again. Listen, Heather Cox.
I heard you talking now.
Yeah, Freddie and Drew Esikoff, and we hope they enjoy the Thursday night football as much as we have.
Yeah, I've talked to Chris Collinsworth quite a few times. He's excited about it because he never gets tired of talking. So he needs 2 games a week.
He might respond to that next week. 1st and 10. There is Hearns. That's the longest play of the evening for Jacksonville.
Yeah, really good. Caught him in man coverage that time. So he just waits for Allen Hearns to break across the field. A good throw by Blake Bortles.
Picks up 31.
But you know, I will say this, in the papers, I read the articles and they're going, why doesn't Jacksonville just go to hurry up more often? Of course, the coaches don't want to. They want to use it when they need it every now and then during games, not for the whole game. Hard to do the whole game. Receivers get too tired.
Bortles whips it over in the area of Thomas.
Well, Dick LeBeau blitzes. The offensive line all works to the left, leaves a blitzer or a defensive lineman, Jarrell Casey, free. Let's do it again. And we make the same mistake the second time, except this time it's Williamson on the free runner. So talked about all the mental mistakes in the run game. Do it in pass protection too.
2nd and 10. Flag on the field as Thomas makes the catch at the 31. And it was a 13-yard completion.
Holding. Offense number 60. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Who do you want to see play in this year's 2017 Pro Bowl game in Orlando? You can vote at NFL.com/Pro Bowl vote and vote today.
I hate to ask this, should know this. Are we going to go back to AFC versus NFC this year? I didn't mean to catch you off guard. I don't know, but if they're not, they should. That's what I want to see.
Why don't you go vote and find out?
Okay, I will.
They are going back to that. 2nd and 20. And 3rd and 20 on the way, just after they peel off a 31-yard completion. Now that holding call may have stalled this second drive of the second half. Let's see.
Well, we got a penalty.
Up. As they break huddle, the flags fly.
An eligible member of the offense downfield, number 77. That penalty is declined. 3rd down.
I would think right here, if you play a really soft defense, if Tennessee does and they pick up enough yards, that Jacksonville would go for it on 4th down if it's reasonable. Here's that stand-up defense again. Everybody walking around.
Here they come. Bortles hammered from behind. Morgan got to him. And they won't be going for it from back here. That's a 6-yard setback.
Yep, on the outside. Oh, up wrong side. Had it turned around. It's Derek Morgan against Parnell, the right tackle. Just beat him with speed to the outside.
Casey tried to come out with the football, but Bortles had already been taken down. Morgan now with 5.5 sacks on the season, and that's 4 consecutive games. Back to the quarterback. Frustration mounting as Bortles and the Jags see that drive come to. Here's what Mariota has done so far. Only 3 passes have hit the ground in 21 attempts.
Good night for him. Good night for this whole offense. And Terry Robisky, the play caller.
Calvin Smith with the tackle. Let's bring in Jay Feely with a report here in the kicking game.
Well, Jim, the Titans are trying to create an identity. They want to run the ball on offense, be physical, play an aggressive defense. And the last equation, part of that equation is to win the special teams battle. They've been abysmal this year. They gave up a punt return for a touchdown in a 7-point game against Houston, fired their special teams coach, Bobby April, then gave up another punt return in the next game. It's been tough. It's been difficult. Mike Mularkey has not been happy. He was very upset on the sideline after that missed extra point. He's made it a priority and an emphasis in that phase.
All right, Jay. Well done. Steve Hoffman, you saw him, the new special teams coach in Tennessee. 2nd and 5. Gallup. And there goes Murray. Look at him with the stiff arm, almost taking off the helmet of Smith. And you saw a flag fly across your screen.
Just great blocking. A little cross block on the outside. Josh Klein and Anthony Fasano. Face mask by.
Personal foul, face mask, offense number 29. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the spot of the foul. 2nd down.
Well, good blocking up front, and then boy, he can put the stiff arm out there. Does he have it? Yeah, you know, as a running back, you can put your hand on the face mask, but you can't grab it, and boy, still stays up. It's like trying to wrestle down a bull.
A 23-yard run.
Look, you know what it is? This is new to Jacksonville. They haven't seen a true power running football team this year. They talked about it, and they haven't seen DeMarco Murray either, or Derrick Henry. They know now.
That was a spot foul, so it's 2nd and 5. And he tries to administer another stiff arm. That time on Marks. They tackle him for a loss. 3rd down coming up.
I wonder if you noticed this, Jim. Have you ever noticed since, how do I say this? since Jay Feely's come aboard that we're having more and more missed field goals and extra points? I mean, is it a coincidence?
Is it a Feely effect?
Feely, Jay, are you out there in the field? Tell them, hey, I'm here watching everything you're doing. I mean, you.
I get a little tight when I'm around Jay. I get a little nervous. I don't know.
I'll tell you.
Maybe they get nervous. I don't know. I'm trying to help them.
Yeah, I know you are. Yeah, you know what? But it's these extra points, so they've turned into quite a calamity around the league.
3rd and 8, lobbing it over the head of Kendall Wright.
Calamity's not the word. It just seems like it's getting more and more. You just can't trust it. You know, even last year I didn't feel like it was an issue, but this year I don't know the exact numbers, but boy, a lot of big extra points have been missed this year.
Well, all you had to do was watch Sunday Night Football with Arizona and Seattle.
There you go.
Still can't believe
that was a great game.
There. I know you loved the game.
I loved it. It was so exciting. And of course, the end the way it did ruined it.
Ball on the ground, and
did they get it while they're in bounds?
Well, Lee was the one who mishandled it.
Team touched the ball, and it was subsequently recovered by the kicking team. Tennessee's ball, first down.
Titans' first fumble takeaway all year. Jacksonville without its usual returner in the punt game. Rashad Green, Corey Grant also out. Lee, though, so sure-handed. Sims was the one who made the recovery. LaShawn Sims. And again, Jacksonville just abysmal last week in the special teams against Oakland. A muff punt, poor judgment, fielding punts inside the 5, and gave up that long run for a first down by the punter Marquette King of Oakland. There's Henry. Now Delaney Walker of the Titans is mic'd up, and let's listen in after that last Tennessee touchdown.
They didn't know who to cover when you came in there. I got him. No, you don't know who you got.
You know, he's right. You know what happened? He came in there, he's flexed out, and they're worried about him. And then all of a sudden you look out there, and Matthews goes across the formation and is wide open.
2nd and 8.
He's good, and he's a good decoy, too.
Henry showing that burst again to get outside and taking it into the red zone. Well, they've run this play a lot tonight. It's worked almost every time.
Well, the problem, not the problem, but again, outside, Telvin Smith has got to be the man way outside. He's not. It's happened so many times tonight. And I got news for them. They might not even have to practice this because there's not many teams that can do this to you, period. Even though it's a weakness, they're showing it. Very few teams in the NFL can just line up and power the football at you like we've seen here tonight.
Don't you know Malarkey's loving this, wanting to be a team that can run the football. 193 on the ground so far. And this will push him toward 200 rushing, with Henry picking up another big gain. Week 8 continues Sunday morning live from London. Special time, 9:30 a.m. Eastern on Fox. And then check local listings for other games in your area.
I was on the field before the game. Mike Malarkey and Bill Cowher were talking. Of course, they know each other well, coaching and all that. And Mike Malarkey said you used to be in Tennessee. When Pittsburgh came to town, they'd get all fired up. And he goes, I don't want us to be that Tennessee team. I want us to be that Pittsburgh team that everybody knew they had to put their big pads on to play.
2nd and 4, and within a yard of the first, tripped up by Lusney. Well, Malarkey with all that Pittsburgh heritage in his background, influenced by Bud Grant as a player, and then later on, of course, Chuck Noll, who used to have his own You know, two-headed monster yesteryear with the likes of Rocky Blyer, Franco Harris.
Bill Coward, great running game with him in Pittsburgh. Blocking tight end in his career. I'm surprised they're running this offense.
Bettis and Parker on and on. He's got it tonight with Murray and Henry. We're going to the fourth. And Tennessee driving again. Actually, 3rd and 1 coming up. Tennessee driving at the Jacksonville 9. Look at Murray and Henry together, total yards more than the Jags by almost 60. Henry's the running back. And the ball carrier. And he's got the 1st and goal to go. Mike Mularkey, a tight end in his time. Played in this league and then got into the coaching business, and you documented it pretty well there. But his head coaching days took him to Buffalo, where he was loyal to his assistants. 1 year in Jacksonville, never got a chance to do his thing there.
Right. And you know what I like? He brought in all the coaches around that he knows who coach like him.
Here's a 1st and goal. And Henry wrestled down. That's Avery Jones at the line of scrimmage. He's in for Roy Miller, who had to go down on IR with an Achilles injury this week.
And I'm going to go back and repeat it, that what the players told us. Thinking, wow, this is old school. This is, but Brian Arakpo said, physicality, that's what we're about. It's so great to be part of this. Our offense, practice. He's a defensive player. The coaches really yell, get after him.
2nd and goal, a 7th straight carry by Henry. Got about halfway home. And a little scuffle breaks out. And a flag is generated.
I said to a coach on the field tonight from Jacksonville that they yell at the players in Tennessee. He goes, are you still allowed to do that?
After the play was over, personal foul. Offense number 77. 15-yard penalty. 3rd down.
I know you weren't exposed to any of that in your days at the Giants.
No, it was all touchy-feely.
Out of bounds in a scramble for 4. And Suckup will come back out for a field goal.
Gary Conklin, right tackle, coming out of the game. There he is, came out, was outside running. And
you like that pick they made?
Oh, he fits right in. Fortunate to get him to go along with Taylor Lewan. That's 2 tackles that fit the culture, fit the team, and what they're trying to do here for sure.
33 yards, Suckup. Man, that one is good. 12:32 to go. Different vehicles. All right, 36-8. I don't know where Jacksonville goes from this performance. They're going to drop to 2-5 on the season.
It was really, I thought, such a big game for them on the fact that they got some tough teams coming up in that schedule. They still got to go to, they got Minnesota, they got Denver, and their margin of error is so small to begin with.
The short kick. Lee fields it, and looked like he tripped on his own player. Right off the back leg of Sheldon Day. victory drive, but the first one of the second half. They drove 75 yards in 11 plays, and now the Jacksonville offense with 12 and a half remaining begins this series with a handoff to Yeldon for 3, and another flag comes out. Tennessee will no doubt take this penalty.
Holding. Offense number 65. 10-yard penalty. First down.
And let's take a look at some next-gen stats presented by Mercedes-Benz.
Well, last year it was about on this offense throwing deep passes down the field. Allen Robinson on the outside. They try to get him once. Coverage is tight. They go to him a second time. They think they got it. Back shoulder throw, and it was off target.
Lined up and a throw. Broken up. Wow. That was Bryce McCain who came up and popped Allen Hurns.
Yep, this Bryce McCain gets in there. Backup cornerback. Plays the slot.
Second and 20. McCain seeing more time with Parrish Cox inactive tonight off a concussion. Knocked down and a flag. Contact a little too early by Woodyard.
Pass interference. Defense number 59. The ball we placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic. First down.
Amazing thing to think that Tennessee is going to beat Jacksonville here in Nashville for the 3rd straight season. But you go back in the rest of the home games since the start of 2014, they are 1-17 at home in all the other ones, the non-Jacksonville home games. 1 win, 17 losses. The win was against Cleveland this year. That's Mercedes Lewis within a yard of another first, gain of 9. How can that be?
Bad football. Just it seems like the team has been in constant transition over the last 8 or 10 years. So
they had Minnesota week 1 with a lead at halftime, fell apart in the second half. Last week had a great chance against Indianapolis, and then 2 late touchdowns, and the Colts came out with a win.
Yeah, these guys, this
Snap infraction. Offense number 65. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Well, that's going to be, they got a good home crowd, great stadium here.
Yeah, the
city on the rise.
Loud.
You know, talking to Arakpo, he feels like his team is in perfect symmetry with this city on the rise. Going to come out of here tonight 4-4.
If they weren't playing Andrew Luck last week, they would have overcome, but he made so many really tremendous plays at the end of the game to win it for the Colts.
And then 6. And on the slant, they've got Robinson and another first. Robinson, we've seen a lot of shots of the quarterback. Bortles being frustrated. I got to think Robinson's as frustrated as anybody on this team.
He was. We talked to him last night, and I don't know what we said. He finally cracked a smile. I thought, hey, all right, it was frustrated. Yes. Played differently this year. Yes.
Just no downfield chances until right here. I showed that graphic before. He had not had a catch of a pass that traveled 20 yards in the air, but that one's out of bounds. Incomplete.
Well, he beat him. He got him open down the field, but the throw takes him out of bounds.
How about how many times last year, though, you'd see these throws deep down the field, and he would just out-wrestle the defender for the catch.
Him and Allen Hurns both would out-wrestle. It was amazing the percentage or the high percentage of times they would make those contested catches. And it's really been one of the problems or thoughts that they just don't understand why they can't make these big throws and completions down the field.
2nd and 10. Right shoulder and the catch for another first with Hurns. Yeah, last season, look at some of the rankings. Most attempts, most completions, most yards, all belong to Bortles.
20 yards and over in the air. Look at that. Look where they are this year. 16th, 24th, and 27th.
Which you get a lot of attempts when you're playing from behind. You know, which was the case often last season on a 5-11 year. But he had a 35 touchdown season last year. Tonight throwing his 10th in weeks but his 7th game. They had a bye already. Delay, draw. And he fights for the first. Yeldon's just his 3rd carry of the game for 20. You know, here they are really trying to establish something on the ground. They have a total of 8 rushes tonight as a team.
Same as last week. Played the Oakland Raiders. Thought they ran the ball okay in the first half, fall behind. Now it's all pass.
8 for 34 as a team. First down throw. Lined up and whips it over. Robinson. Got a catch at the 23.
They've done a good job working on Jason McCourty. And you know, you talk about that run game as we watch Robinson sell it. Nice job, good timing. You cannot get good at it unless you do it in the game. I don't care how much you practice it. You got to be able to take it to the field. They're not in position to give it a chance.
Inside 9 minutes remaining. It's been Tennessee from the start. Here's the Jags trying to get it down to the 10, and it's knocked down. Incomplete by Bortles. Sean Spence defending that one. NFL Total Access, the only live nightly show dedicated to the NFL tomorrow. Can Rex and the Bills slow down the Patriots in Sunday's key AFC East clash? They'll meet for the 2nd time. Of course, the Bills blanked them in Gillette Stadium with Brady out for the final game of the 4 that he set.
They played the 3rd-string quarterback with 2 differences. Tom Brady's back. Gronkowski's back to full speed. And it is in Buffalo.
And what will McCoy have as he's been playing with that last week here with the tender hamstring. 2nd and 10. Fired in there to Lewis. Takes a couple of Titans to wrestle him down near the 16. Picked up of 6.
Well, how about this? Let's bring in 3 fresh pass rushers. Let's bring in Derek Morton, Jarrell Casey, and Carl Klug. I mean, so we've talked a lot about it, but the strength of the offensive line and defensive line.
You wondered tonight coming in about how Tennessee's secondary would hold up. And so far, they've done quite the job here tonight. 3rd and 4. As evidence right there. Knocked down by Jason McCourty, denying Robinson. And 4th down. And the Jags will go for it, of course.
Well, they get them a 2 to the same side. Very hard to pick up in the NFL. You're not going to have enough guys. They've been doing it to the right side, and it's had success. So Dick LeBeau, 79 years young, still can dial it up with the best of them.
4th and 4.
They're going to do the same blitz again.
They pick it up, and the pass goes through the hands of Hearns. Tennessee takes over on downs. Woodyard in there defending that one too. Might have got a hand on it. Look at the linebacker. Well, catchable ball. Yep. Beer with your team on it. We've seen the last of Marcus Mariota tonight. Matt Castle will come in and close it out the last 8 minutes. Mariota with just a fine performance here this evening, completing 82% of his passes.
Is that all?
And 18 of 22. Henry with a 4-yard run. Here's a little glimpse of some of the things he did.
Hey, Bates, you know what you got to like? He did everything. The soft toss over the top. He threw it into tight spots, which this league is all about. And, you know, when they get a foot ahead of the defender, you got to make that throw. And his decision-making was probably perfect tonight. You know, a couple times he almost let a football go, especially one I saw. And if he let it go, it could have been trouble. He pulled it down real quick, threw the short receiver, and avoided the turnover.
2nd and 6. For a couple. You know, Mariota just does things the right way. I mean, from the start of the day. Here's one for you. For a guy that, like you, who is so fastidious about everything that he does, ironing his shirts and all these legendary stories about you. How about this? Marcus wakes up every day, even when he's in a hotel. He makes his bed every day.
Wow.
He had a coach at the University of Oregon, Jim Radcliffe, who talked about how Nelson Mandela used to make his bed every single day. And Marcus said someone of his stature felt that it was important to start your day that way because you start off with a good habit. And along with my parents' teachings, and I really just kind of solidified what Coach Radcliffe told me. It just stuck with me ever since. So I do it every single day, no matter where I am.
It's a great thing.
How about that?
I love it. You know, this is the truth. I'm not being funny. In college, I made my bed every single day. We lived in a dorm, a football dorm, and they would check. And it had to be made at all times. So, but I did stop that habit once I got out of college. I was like, "Huh, it looks okay. Just throw it there. Just come on."
Well,
he looks it. He practiced like it. Even his style of play, the way he throws, it's all. It's. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's pretty close.
He just doesn't. He doesn't play like an unmade bed. You know.
There you go. Good.
I mean, this is a guy though that's running in symmetry with where this franchise is trying to go.
Absolutely.
You know?
They listen. They got to be ecstatic about their quarterback.
Turn out to punt for the third time this evening. First 2 punts have traveled 44 yards. This one, that was never called a fair catch. Mentioned Allen Robinson's frustration. There's a glimpse of that.
Well, you could be frustrated, but, you know, don't bring your teammates down with you.
Lee, flag comes out. That was Blake trying to defend it from behind.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense number 47. 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Jacksonville comes off the sting of this one and has a game at Kansas City.
Well, look at those. Look at the numbers.
Look at the winning records. Every one of them.
Every one.
It's Ivory to midfield, and there are going to be people saying tonight, you got the mini bye coming up. What happens here with Coach Bradley? He's going to drop to 14 and 41 in now his 4th year here. Such a positive, upbeat guy, and it's rare not to see him at least try to put a positive spin on everything he does. This was going to be impossible to spin this performance.
Well, it's a team that you look at on paper, whatever you judge, you say, look, we are good or maybe better than the Tennessee Titans. We should win this game. And then not to be competitive in it is really a bad mark against you. And
catch, Robinson.
And you know, and look, he's got a family, and I hate to say it, but it's just the truth. You know, his future with his team, it's in doubt. It has to be in doubt. It's been rough. The record, you know, they waited for this year, for this team to come together. That's what it was built for, to be about. And it hasn't. I don't see it happening.
That is some catch. That was right there what Robinson last year. And I'm not saying he hasn't had, has been making those plays. He just hasn't had the opportunity to be up and having the chance to catch these balls like this. This is what we saw all last year, fighting for it, climbing.
Look how high he got.
Amazing.
Feet are in.
To the end zone. Almost out battling McCourty for it again. But, you know, this is this is a franchise that in 2013 had the 2nd overall pick. Took Jokel, the tight end, or the tackle, who is out with a knee surgery, IR. Bortles with the 3rd overall. Fowler with the 3rd overall. Ramsey this year, another one in the top 5 pick. third overall. That's Bortles. And, you know, you had Blackman, and that proved to be a disaster. Taken 5th overall back in 2012.
Well, as I look up that list, start from the bottom, I don't think there's going to be any question about Jalen Ramsey. Will Dante Fowler turn into the pass rusher they hope? We'll find out. Blake Bortles, still question marks. Luke Jokel was a guard, so he didn't work out as the franchise left tackle.
Goal, touchdown. From 5 yards out.
Almost like a screen inside. Mercedes Lewis goes down in the end zone and just keeps the linebacker from getting underneath. Hearns wide open for the touchdown. Watch Lewis, 89. Hearns comes in behind him.
Hearns' 6th catch, 76 yards, and a touchdown. Bortles now throwing a couple tonight. No picks, 246 yardage. Is good. 36-15
For your age, you know, so you go, yeah, I do feel pretty good. So, I don't know if Harold liked that advice.
Hey, but our thanks to that home player as the onside kick comes. Over to the arms of the Titans. And Mariani with the recovery. Yep, 2.5 years. You know, the last 2 years we had done the full Thursday night lineup.
Right.
And now we're going to hand it off, as we mentioned earlier, to the NBC folks. Next week, NFL Network only. That's Atlanta and Tampa. We're just going to go back to doing games on Sunday.
It might be boring just to do one a week, but you know, it is amazing. The work is hard, of course.
Yeah.
But the energy when you get to the stadium, you go, "Wow, I'm really so glad to be
great,
here."
man. It's been
Even
awesome.
here tonight, the game was lopsided. I don't care. It's still the feel of the crowd and the meet the players and all that. We always find it uplifting in one way or another when we meet with one of the teams. Somebody says something, you just go, man, it makes this job worth it.
Enjoyed every minute of it. And again, thanks to our incredible production and technical teams. As Henry gets almost every handle here in the final quarter for the Titans. You saw the Jacksonville future schedule. There's a timeout called by Jacksonville. This is what the Titans have at San Diego. And then Green Bay comes in here. Back to the division at Indianapolis. They'd like to avenge that loss from here last week at Chicago. And who knows, that game against Denver in December, that could loom large.
We could be here for that.
We could. It could possibly be our main CBS game on a regional week.
You know, it's so important in the game. You and I do segments sometimes on Showtime and talk about how coaching is so important in the NFL to help the players. And players really, when it comes down to it, they want to be coached and coached hard. And Mike Mularkey has really put together a good staff for what he wants to do.
Oh, there's a good tackle in the backfield. That is Sheldon Day behind the line. So giving Tennessee the win to go to 4-4. Mularkey was talking to his team as Jags have called another timeout. And coming into week 8, how about this? 20 of the 32 teams in the league had either 3 or 4 wins.
Yep.
And, well, his point was, hey, guys, we have been in every game. It's not like we've had a game where, we just, the score looked respectable at the end. We had a chance in every game. That includes the games that we won. Every game, he said, could have gone either way. Now, they had won 3 of them, lost 4 of them before this.
Shows you how close the NFL is for such a large majority of the teams, and the margin of error just comes down to that 1 or 2 plays a game.
Hassel, his first pass attempt of the season, complete. Down to the 42. That's Kendall Wright. And we go down to Tracy.
Well, Jim, you guys were talking earlier about Mike Mularkey and his journey and his 3rd stint as a head coach, and he decided to do things a little differently this time around. He wanted to have more fun. So throughout the year, Malarkey quizzes players and coaches through games, whether it's horse, ping pong, family feud, even a spelling bee, guys. It's all to lighten the mood, make meetings fun while teaching. Several players told us it just brings more energy to the practice fields and makes them more excited to attend the meetings. And guys, I mentioned the spelling bee, the winning word, hors d'oeuvre. Can you spell it?
Oh, listen, I'm going to defer hors d'oeuvre to my partner over here.
Well, I was a spelling bee champion, so I don't want to show off. You know, it's just not like me. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to let that one go. But I know we got a producer that likes eating them. And our director, too. Let's not put Mike Arnold and Lance Barrow. We got to put them in there.
Nobody back deep for Jacksonville. As Kern. It's a dead ball down to the 10. Will Brinkley, the long snapper.
That story Tracy told, he caught him one week. He made the assistant coaches get up in front of the team, and they got to quiz the coaches. And he goes, you've never seen coaches sweat so much. Terry Robisky was up there going, no, no, no. Coordinators don't count. He didn't want to get up there and be quizzed by any of the players on the team. But what a night for Terry Robisky. And
his team's got 494 yards of offense tonight.
it's just not even the yards. It's the style of play. It's the creativity they showed off of their running game, which was impressive tonight.
Bortles, open target, and the catch is made by Koyak.
Well, that is tough. You know, that keeps you on alert, like what Tracy said, though. Coaches say, get on the board and draw up a play. You get nervous, that'll make you study more.
2nd and 3, and right back to Koyak. For our first down as we'll bring it to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go, and we'll say goodnight from Nashville. With a 36-15 lead, we'll be right back to close it out.
To be a starting quarterback in the NFL, you do so well, they take you out early. I mean, doesn't get better than that.
Hasn't had that occasion too many times now, just his 2nd season. But the thing is, as you see Dick LeBeau,
79 years old.
Huh? What a difference.
And still getting it done. All the players know his history as a player, as a coach.
Sidelines it off the hands of Marquise Lee.
And we got to go into your other sport real quick as we talk about Dick LeBeau, because he was a great athlete, a great player in the NFL. So many
Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer, that's right.
2010 he was inducted.
Loves his golf. Still gets around. I mean, you can't believe his age, but his golf. 79.
Maybe he's lying up, by the way.
No,
maybe
no, he tells
you
the
look
truth.
great for 79. Maybe it's your theory there.
No, he tells the truth.
2nd and 10. Koyak's 3rd catch on this drive, but he regularly beats his age.
Beats his age almost every time he tees it up. Oh, look at
62 career interceptions.
That's amazing. 58th season in the NFL. Tom Moore, Dick LeBeau, Monty Kiffin, who's now
special defensive assistant on the Jacksonville side.
Jacksonville team. But still has the energy and passion to go out here and coach these guys every day.
3rd and 2, 1:49 on the clock. Bortles able to shake off the hit and get his feet planted and completes the pass for the 1st. Koyak suddenly become a favorite target. And Bortles has over 200 yards passing in the 2nd half alone.
Yeah, excellent job by Bortles. Little game up front. Gets away from Blackson first and finds somebody down the field. Those are things he said. Bortles, we talked about big and strong, can move around. Good play by him.
Koyak with the first 4 catches of his career. Make it 5 all on this drive. They found the answer here in the last 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Something to build off on. Koyak, first-year player out of Notre Dame.
I would usually say yes, you build upon this, but there's nothing to build upon tonight. I know you do.
tongue-in-cheek, but doesn't she give the kid credit? And Hearn somehow held on to it. Denoris Searcy with the hit, and it's a catch down to the 28. How do you hold on to it? By the way, Bortles goes over 300 yards passing with that completion. 45 seconds. Yeldon splits him, gets to the 18, and soon we'll be getting to the Mazda post-game show with Marcus and DeMarco joining the crew with highlights and analysis on the set.
And DeMarco Murray, talking to him yesterday, he was all smiles, wasn't he? Just
yeah, he's loving life here. To the end zone. Tipped away nicely by Blake.
Valentino Blake. That's some play. But you know, all players, especially players like when you talk about DeMarco Murray, watch the play by Blake, gets up there, but you know, you got to be in the right place and have the system to give yourself a chance to really have the success. And he had it in Dallas. He's found it here in Tennessee too.
And Walters goes out of bounds. Yeah, Murray tonight 123 yards rushing and a touchdown. Did most of that damage in the first half. Concern right before halftime with a foot injury, but he came back out and played in the second half.
John Robinson, general manager. Him and Mike Mularkey, they have the same thought about what they want in a football team. So there's so many times the general manager and head coach don't get along. That's not the case here.
Can Jacksonville get one more touchdown on the board before it finishes? 3rd and 3. That's Lewis going out of bounds with 6 seconds.
You know, as you see these last couple drives, and I know it means nothing, but do you notice how much more relaxed Blake Bortles looks throwing the football? I mean,
no
it's
question.
Incredible. He just like, the pressure's off. He relaxed. His feet settle into the ground, and he throws it better. They just got to learn to come out and be that way in practice every day and to do it at the start of the game.
Might be the last play. Bortles comes in and across for the touchdown is Brian Walters. On what was the 54th attempt of the game for Bortles, which ties the Jacksonville team record. Most attempts. Bortles ends up with 337 yards passing and a 3-touchdown performance.
Yeah, the numbers look great. But, you know, I'm not sitting here, by no means can we just sit here and go, oh, Bortles, this, that. Listen, the biggest problem I saw tonight was lack of discipline on the defensive side would be number one. And then when the game was, when it really mattered, they couldn't run it, couldn't throw and catch, couldn't do anything.
Extra point makes the margin 14. So they had 60 yards total in the first half, Jacksonville. 310 in the second half. You got a 14-point play in 1 second? You want to tell me about?
No, I do not. I'm talked out. I'm done. Well, maybe not.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. You're gonna like miss me.
I'll see you Sundays, man.
Well, yeah, but you got 10 days.
Halfway through the season.
10 days. You'll be home and you're good. We'll probably
see you in Green Bay next week for a little Indianapolis Packer action.
Tell me the truth. Do you get like tired of being at home with your wife all the time? Do you do phone breaks?
Oh my gosh. Hey, speak for yourself, man.
I'm sorry, Courtney. I just got
I love being at home with my wife and kids. Are you kidding me?
I think somebody just slapped me in the back of the head.
I just live for that.
Yeah.
Bouncing around to close out the game. Fumble right. dramatically falls to the turf. Tennessee will go into the back half of the season at 4-4. And now in this wild, crazy, hard to figure AFC South, put them in the picture there. Factor them in. We'll see.
Impressive victory reinforces what they're teaching, so the players, when they come back, will believe in their coach even more.
They rushed for over 200. They did not allow a sack. They did not commit a turnover. They had nearly 500 yards of offense. There was only 4 incomplete passes on the Tennessee side. It was a pretty thorough performance all the way around. The final score is Tennessee 36 and Jacksonville 22. Coming up next, it's the Mazda post-game show. We'll be back with more after this. You have been watching Thursday Night Football presented by